Do you hate Jewish people?
No, I don't.
Then why do you spew such hatred about them?
Well, I don't like what they've done. I don't like what their religion preaches. I don't like what's going on in Israel. I don't like their influence over our government. So, you know.
What do you like about Jewish people?
I mean, I would say on average, they're more intelligent.
That's it?
Everybody wants to, promote this anti-Muslim, this hatred for Muslim, like they're all, these terrorists. And I think the Israelis are the terrorists. I think they are the ones perpetuating the big acts of terrorism.
And what do you say to Jewish people who may watch this and be utterly horrified by what they're hearing?
Look at the look on Piers's face. He's trying so hard to bait Dan into this gotcha moment, just hoping for a headline. But Dan isn't playing the game. He's just saying it. He's completely unbothered. You can tell Piers expected him to fold or backtrack, but instead, Dan just doubles down on the Israel stuff. It's wild watching someone just ignore the social script like that. He's not even flinching.
When you have a religion that promotes supremacy, when you have a religion that says that you are better than other people, and when you have a religion that says it's okay to steal from other people as long as they're not Jewish, when you have a religion that says it's okay to rape people that aren't Jewish, when you have a religion that talks about having sex with, kids that are under 3 years old, when you have a religion that promotes these things and promotes supremacy, I think you're going to have problems. And you see that in Israel. Israel is a manifestation of that religion. And I think that religion is, it's terrible. I don't believe in white supremacy. I don't believe in Jewish supremacy. I don't believe in supremacy at all. And right now, I think you have massive Jewish supremacy.
You sound like a Nazi.
I mean, why do you say that?
That's literally what Nazis would have said in World War II. They would have literally articulated their hatred of Jewish people and the reasons why in exactly the way you've just done.
I don't have a hatred for Jewish people.
You do?
I don't like a religion that says that they're better than other people. And what's that?
Well, you do. You obviously do. It's blatant. No one watching this will draw any other conclusion. I'm staggered about how brazen you've been.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't like it when people think they're better than other people. And you see that in Israel, and they're acting like that, and they're treating Palestinians like second-class citizens. They're treating them like subhuman beasts, and it sells that in their Talmud. So it says if you are not a Jew, that you are basically subhuman. And I don't think that Judaism and Christianity go hand in hand. I mean, they believe that Jesus is in hell burning in human shit, and they believe that the Virgin Mary is a whore. So I don't think those are two religions that really intersect very well. But we've been programmed that they do, and we've been programmed that it's okay and that Jews are the chosen people, and I just disagree with that. I think everybody's equal.
Do you even comprehend how this interview is going to play out when it airs?
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be bad. But, my opinion is not politically correct, but I believe that is the truth.
You're living in Qatar now.
Well, that's where I'm at right now. I'm not living here, but visiting.
Right. Is it the case that you feel safer to spew this kind of stuff from Qatar than you would spewing it in the United States?
Well, I mean, I've had a lot of Jewish people attack me since I started standing up in support of Palestine. When I started saying things that were against Israel, I found that I had my Jewish business manager tried to extort me. I had lawyers do things that were illegal, and I found a lot of just hatred from the Jewish community because I was speaking out against a genocide, and that really opened my eyes to what's going on.
You know why Jewish people?
Like I said, rarely is it the case that people on the right side of history are the ones that are trying to silence people.
Yeah, the reason Jewish people may dislike you is because of your obvious hatred for them and everything they stand for. I mean, you've literally spent the last 20 minutes on an anti-Semitic rant that makes Kanye look like a choir boy. I'm staggered, but also bemused as to what you think you'll gain from this, other than you're just laying bare your anti-Semitism for everyone to see.
Look, Piers Morgan's entire strategy here is just labels. That's it. Dan Bilzerian says he's against supremacy, any form of it. And Piers goes, "You sound like a Nazi." I mean, really? That's your rebuttal? Not an actual counter-argument, not addressing what Dan said about the Talmud, not engaging with any of the specific claims, just You're a Nazi. You're worse than Kanye. You're an anti-Semite. Done. Conversation over. Except it's not over because Dan doesn't flinch, and that's what's driving Piers crazy. He keeps throwing these grenades, expecting Dan to backpedal, apologize, walk it back, and Dan just doesn't. He sits there and says, yeah, I know this will play badly, but I think it's the truth. That's not hatred. That's someone who's made peace with the consequences of saying something unpopular. Here's the thing. If Piers actually believed Dan was wrong on the substance, wouldn't he just prove him wrong? Quote the text, correct the interpretation, something? But he doesn't do any of that. He just keeps reaching for the shame button. And when the shame button stops working, what does Piers even have left?
I don't think I'm going to gain anything. I think it'll be horrible for me. But, you know, it's what I believe. I don't think that Jews like Christians. And you see it when they, you know, killed them during the, you know, the Holodomor, the Bolshevik genocide. I mean, the Bolsheviks, the leadership was 84% Jewish, and they were just mass killing Christians, and nobody talks about that.
Let me just ask you one more time. Let me just ask you one more time to be honest.
History books don't cover that.
Right, let me just ask you one more time, just for clarity. And I think you should be honest. But do you hate Jewish people?
No, I don't.
Then why do you spew such hatred about them?
Well, I don't like what they've done. I don't like what their religion preaches. I don't like what's going on in Israel. I don't like their influence over our government. So, you know.
What do you like about Jewish people?
I mean, I would say on average, they're more intelligent.
That's it?
I mean, I don't have too many. I mean, look, you know, there's 2 billion Muslims, but everybody wants to, you know, promote this anti-Muslim, this hatred for Muslim, like they're all, you know, these terrorists. And I think the Israelis are the terrorists. I think they are the ones perpetuating the big acts of terrorism. And, you know, nobody wants to talk about that.
And what do you say to Jewish people who may watch this and be utterly horrified by what they're hearing?
They can be horrified. I mean, I was horrified to find that they mass murdered Christians. I was horrified to learn the things that they teach in the Talmud. I was horrified that they think that Jesus is burning in shit in hell. I was horrified that they think that the Virgin Mary is a whore. I was horrified to learn that they think it's okay to steal from Gentiles. I was horrified to hear that there's, you know, 2 sets of justice. I was horrified to find out that they think it's okay to, you know, gang rape Palestinian prisoners. I was horrified about all those things. I'm horrified that we're funding a genocide right now. So they can be horrified.
Look, Piers tries the oldest, cheapest trick in the book here. It's that desperate pivot where you realize you're losing the argument, so you go, well, what do you even like about these people? Give me a break. It's such a transparent trap. It's not journalism. It's a middle school interrogation designed to make you look like a monster if you don't start gushing on command. And Dan just doesn't play. He gives him a basic answer about intelligence, and Piers is actually offended that he didn't write a poem about it. That's it? Yeah, Piers, that's it. What did you expect? But the real moment is when Piers tries to weaponize horror. He asks how Dan thinks Jewish people feel hearing this, and Dan just flips the script entirely. He's like, you want to talk about being horrified? Let's talk about the Bolsheviks. Let's talk about the Talmud or what's happening in Gaza. He refuses to let Piers own the moral high ground. You can't use feelings as a one-way street while ignoring the literal history that Dan is bringing to the table. He isn't flinching. He's meeting that emotional pressure with cold, hard facts Piers clearly wasn't ready to handle.